So, hello and welcome to episode 2 of the Mind Over Body podcast. Before we start, make sure you're subscribing and you're hitting that little bell, if you can see my lovely face, to make sure you get notified when we upload all our other podcasts and all that good content. So, I'm back today with Jim and Mark, who you already know. But we have got a very special guest this evening by the name of Carl Roberts, Robbo, who is a very good friend of Mark's. Just a little bit about Carl before we get going. He's an ex-British Army combat shooting coach and an ex-company sergeant major on operations. But we haven't even got to the best bit yet. He's been on with some amazing bits, amazing things to help people get through. But I'll let Mark talk about that a little bit more when we get to it. But yeah, boys, how are we doing? First and foremost, how we keeping?
All good.
Good. That's what we like to hear. That's what we like to hear. But yeah, so really quickly, what's been going on this week, lads? I tell you what. Right, I'll start off with Jim, because last week I left him twiddling his thumbs a little bit and just sat there. So Jim, what have you been doing? What's going on? What's good?
All good. Pretty much the same week, sitting around the house, doing pretty much nothing. But this week, been planning obviously the Throws for Heroes tomorrow, and I've just finished my UK Athletics Disability Inclusion course, so that's another certificate to the book.
Yeah. Hey, decent, man. Decent. So busy week in a sense when we're not supposed to be doing jack all.
Yeah.
You got to keep busy, man. You got to keep busy. Mark, what's been going on in your world? What's
just training, trying to train as hard as I can for my own sort of benefit, mentally and physically. I'll come up with a little challenge. Hopefully I'll get a lot of people involved. This challenge will challenge them mentally and physically. It's the road to 1,000. Pretty much you start at 400 reps and you make your way up to 1,000 reps in 60 minutes. So yeah, it's not easy. It's not hard. It's not easy. It is hard, but it's hard as you make it. I'm obviously there to mentor and help people go through it. Also, thanks to the JD last week, I got roped into doing the mile Throw for Heroes. So I'll be doing that tomorrow with Jim. Looking forward to it. I don't think my arm's going to be right afterwards, so I'm expecting a lot of rub downs after. You go, that's my week now.
Fair. Well, I'll let you introduce Carl, because you guys go way back.
Carl, I've known Carl for many years, and I seen a first post a couple of weeks ago, and it sort of shut me back because I know what Carl's like, and he doesn't let anything go. And once he gets something in his teeth, he chews on it, and he has done. And for what he's trying to do, and he needs our help, he needs everybody's help to make it massive, to make it what his dream is. And to be fair, I seen a video of him doing a live on Facebook, and all I want to do is help him. And I'm going to go out of my way. And a lot of the lads as well that are tagged in this group, I let Carl go on about it, but what he's doing is amazing, more than what most people are doing. And the fact that he's got a lot of love for his family, and I mean, when I say family, I mean brothers in arms, veterans, all that stuff. That love is blowing me away, and that's Carl. To be fair, he'll smash this out because that's who he is. So here's the podcast, Carl Robbo. Introduce yourself, mate.
Okay, can everyone hear me all right, team? Yeah, is that good?
Yeah, good, mate, yeah.
Yeah, so, well, firstly, obviously, Mark, thanks for inviting me in, and hopefully I can sort of pass on my sort of experiences and be part of this team moving forward and seeing what that looks like. So a little bit about myself. Joined the army, all the usual sniper course, all the usual guys. I know Mark when I think it was a full screen and a sergeant back in the Mercian days, then transferred across to the Remy, but always had a in a practice, which has been fantastic and great heights, which is only the beginning. So, for instance, I refer to that as when you say you're climbing Mount Everest, some people are happy just to be at base camp. I'm going to the very top, but I'm only as good around me and where I'm at with that. So just to sort of set the record straight, I left the army about 3 months ago, with mental health problems, and it was just a short phase. Going to take my own life. Don't know why. I still don't know why to today. Brain is a very small, minute thing, but can have a big impact on the body. And I'd speak about mental and physical performance, and we can speak about that in future podcasts. But again, the body system. People saved my life, which is cool. So it's now my time to give back. So yeah, I am the Tag International, together a group, predominantly working around enabling organisations and people to achieve their desired end state. People are different, everyone's different, but if I can inspire others, it sleep one night and I get a really good sensation, like a good NLP, a good feeling of endorphins being released in my body. That's where I'm at. I'm all about optimising performance and growing our survival instinct, which we have got in. We're all like caged animals, which is great, and we can in ourselves when to and when not to turn that on. And again, the survival instinct kicks in with that. Tag International, Tag Veteran, 13 in a week. And again, and how that make me feel? Well, actually, to put yourself and your crown jewels above the parapet and actually be the sole person standing, sitting in front of the camera with your minute, proud of who you are, proud of where you've been, and the team and where the group is going to was a pretty daunting task. And I thought, what happens if one person comes in? Just one person. And I thought, well, if one person comes in, at least I'm somebody. So
yeah,
expectations. We're doing it for the inner feet. Where did all this really come from? When I was in the REME, I was sitting there. I was in the cook camp and walking past our cap badge and walking past our team and just laughing at us, and that hurt me. In that are good enough against the other people. Cap badges, competitive performance. What makes it tick? It's why Mark he wants to be there pushing optimum performance. I can do it. I can do it. It's what is that feeling like, and what is that end state? And everyone's for an end state. And mine was to take an organisation from 27th first in the army, and just change a mindset of it, which was roots. I changed the mindset of 8,000 people, because once you get momentum as a team, the growth, the strength back. And that was a 3-year strategy that we wrote, I wrote. And actually, in some cases, it's like when we done the podcast on Friday online on Facebook. I was there thinking, okay, what if it does it? But if you don't do something, like, you're never going to know. And actually, I prepped it for.
Hey, on that, I got emotional, mate. You know what? You made a follow out of me, and I'll do everything I can to help you, just because of what I've been through. Do you know what I mean? From what I've been through mentally, and the fact that I hopefully I've stopped people. Do you know what I mean? Because I've been there, and I'm not saying it's emotional for me to even talk about it, because I was a fucking weak individual. I know that now. But you can't call someone weak. You can't call someone, they're getting rid of the pain. And that's all it is. And at the end of the day, we're here. And what you're doing will stop a lot of that. And you don't realise that yet, mate, until it happens.
But I completely agree with that, Mark. And that's fantastic, mate. So when we look at, like, Tag as a group, imagine having that framework. And we speak about a lot of service leaders and people out there, and looking what's happening now in the coming climate. We're on the front line. Any emergency services, we're on the heat about. And as we all know, when we're in operations, there's a bit of a consequence of action. We're almost emotional of thought. And I'll speak in future podcasts about positive thinking and negative and the emotion.
Well, yeah, that's That's
That's mind over body.
That's the mind over body. That's the principle of the podcast, and I love the fact that what you're doing it fits solely with all of us, and hopefully to every one of our viewers. Whether we get, like you said, even if one person joins the group, you're still helping someone. No matter if we say we're getting 10, 15 views, or we get tens of thousands of views, we're here to help people get through the lockdown and get past it.
Well,
in whatever.
I completely support that, and I do it. So we say to ourselves, Nike sports company, just do it. Tyson Fury, just keep moving. What does that look like? It's different for everybody, but if we can give them the toolbox, the support network, people are going to be in such a better space. Talk the person left and right.
Well, I know, and you know what, Jim as well. Jim used to get up in the middle of the night because he'd get a phone call, and he'd be there. Do you know what I mean? And that's where Jim gets drawn in, and that's to be fair, that's why I like Jim, because I don't like him. He's a brother. At the end of the day, we fought in the same army, and the fact that he will get up at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night to stop someone from doing something, you can't ask any more than that.
So I open this as an open question to everybody. Not everyone, Mark, would want to talk. Everyone's on that pendulum, and at the pendulum of the word balance. You can. What is the tip point? And I've built in a different, and it's hard for people to come out and express their feelings. But if they've got that support network, even if it's information, if that toolbox is different for everybody, what does everyone think?
Well, yeah, it is. It's different things. It's trigger points, isn't it? It's trigger points. Different triggers for different people, sort of thing. And if we can cover as many points or many things which could potentially help many people, then it's only going to be a positive thing, really, isn't it? Because you'll have different experiences to me. Like out of all of us, I probably have a lot more different experiences to you guys, and vice versa. Because personally, I've never served in the army. I've never had that life experience, in a sense. You know what I mean? So,
but I completely support that. But this question as well, the way that everyone is built differently, the way we all see the planet and our views are completely different. We need to take that into consideration. Whether that be if I'm in the army and we would always be there, so we never worried about food, shelter, water, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, because it was there for us. We were part of the system where the exposure is yourself when being in civilian industry, when on, am I going to be able to feed my family? A lot of contributing factors. Is my job safe? Am I working well with my team? The industry.
Well, exactly.
Actually, you've potentially got more skills and better skills than you actually think you've got, believe it or not.
It's like, take for example this lockdown period. Like, I personally, I'm self-employed. You know what I mean? And this period has been scary for me. Like, Mark, Jim, it's been, honestly, if I hadn't have had the help and support of the people around me, I'd be a completely broken man, completely, financially and mentally.
This is where we are exactly, and you may not even know this, but you are on the front line. Everyone is on the front line, literally. We're in a scary scenario. I'll ask Mark and any other veterans if they want to open. But everyone's waking up every day, regardless if you're in we're in our sleeping bag. It's raining out. In your bed at night and it's so warm. But when you get up, you have daily battles. Have I got food? Have I got shelter? Have I got water? Am I providing for me? So if we reframe that civilian life, that's like me and Mark on the battlefield. I've got the shelter, happy when we're in to the enemy. We face a different enemy. We're all now facing the enemy, so we're all in this together.
Yeah, exactly.
I look at this lockdown as a shit tour. The only difference in the blue
Yes, Jim. You know what? I was waiting for you to pop up in that, because you know what? That's exactly. This is a massive team tour. This is what this is.
Right.
Without the Jim.
The same as usual, the same as Afghan, the same as Iraq. After so many months or whatever of being in theatre, the enemy becomes invisible.
Yes.
I need to now we're sending fucking blueies through our fucking mates.
Jim's got a good point there, Jim. You know, when you say that, mate, in the situation we're in now and when we're on court, Jim, how does that make you feel inside, mate? Honestly, how does it make you feel, brother?
To be honest, obviously it's not brilliant for my mental health. My mental health has suffered more with it, obviously, because there's a lot more, not just the normal day thinking, it's the thinking such as I've now got something used, what I hate. I've now got to be on roads when there's people driving about like lunatics trying to get here, there and everywhere. The prices of stuff have gone up. I can't leave the house with my kids. For 7 weeks, my kids have been stuck in the house. So the anxiety side of it is a lot higher. But when I leave my front door on a morning to collect food, water, gas, electric, petrol, it's just like, again, when you're on tour, you leave the compound, you're going on patrol. See, I'm now battling with my mental health when I'm on the streets alone. Normally, I'll have my partner with us or my kids with us that can draw me back if I get in trouble or if I start having a meltdown. Now I'm on my own 2 feet by myself, running solo in a world full of fuckwits.
So
Totally agree with that. Because I
we
put a video out at the start of this lockdown saying how fucking scared I was because I don't sit still for 12 minutes, never mind fucking 12 weeks. Do you know what I mean? I was petrified of how I was going to be. And the fact that, in a way, I've created more work for myself and talk to more people than what I would normally do if this wasn't here. So, in a way, it's had a reverse effect of what I was fearing. I was fearing I wasn't going to come out of fucking lockdown. That's in my own head. And I didn't want that to happen. So having Nathan, Jim, Carl, having my clients that are helping me be busy, I was petrified from what I was, because I don't know. I couldn't see what was past the next day.
But we go back to what Jim
said. Make sure everyone else was right.
We go back to what Jim said, Mark. We go back to what Jim said, don't we, Mark? It's the invisible enemy. Because we don't know what we know. As humans, we naturally want to put things into perspective and come up with a thought process and go, right, we're going to do that. But actually, because we don't know, we can't look further than a week ahead or Boris Johnson's feel ahead. We're sort of fixed. So my question to Jim is, in this situation, do you feel like you're now becoming like your little mini fire team, like you're an operation, bringing us closer together, mate?
Family-wise, well, obviously, we've all...
I think we've lost Jim's audio.
Say that again, Jim.
Yeah, we've lost Jim's audio slightly. Bear with us, Jim. We'll try and get you back on.
No, I know exactly what you mean by that question to Jim. Like, you sort of close your bubble in. Make sure you're tight. Make sure you got your kit checks done. Make sure you go good. Make sure you come back good. But
well, you sort of go into a bit of a critical thinking stage, don't you? You're like, okay, you get primal? Everyone, the country, the world, the planet is primal. Me and my pack, are we safe? You know, once we get the door, it's like when you go out of a base, you know, you are potentially in an area of unknown, and too many unknowns does stretch your resilience and actually your well-being in some cases. So instead of looking for the perfect full end state, we adopt those coping mechanisms where we can adapt quickly and efficiently and actually communicate within your team.
Improvise, adapt, and overcome.
No, that's exactly it. Especially when it comes to like financials decisions at the moment, running businesses and things like that. Like for me personally, that's exactly what you've just said. With the being able to look further ahead than the next couple of days and being able to plan what I can and can't do and be able to budget for things and things like that. That it causes stress and anxiety, and it's only going to end up putting people in a bit of a shit position, to be perfectly honest.
It will make you more resilient.
Yeah.
Short term, we have to work together. Communities have to work together. We need that word trust and balance between people. It's, instinctively through the environment we're now operating in, working in or living in, we are going to work together. Yeah.
Well, exactly, right? So if you look at VE Day, right? If this lockdown, and I'm going to say it quite bluntly, if this lockdown wasn't happening, no one would have had a street party. No one. Don't care what you said. Everyone would have been too busy. It would have been a minute silence in the day. But no one would have sat outside. No one would have had a party. No one would have sang songs. No one would have remembered them all. So in a way, it's turned...
He's put everything into perspective.
Into perspective, yeah.
He's put everything into perspective. Absolutely everything.
For everybody watching now, millions of people around the world, let's think big, take it to the stars. How do we look at this in a positive? What has COVID-19 taught us positive? Let's all have a think about that. Reframe it. It's not negative.
No, I'm not saying it's negative. I'm not saying that they wouldn't have said outside as a negative. I think it's a positive that we actually did it. But it wouldn't have happened if we were in lockdown. So in a positive, that VE Day will be remembered, not for the fact that it was in lockdown, the fact that everyone sat outside the house celebrating VE Day. That's what I mean. That's what I meant by a positive. And people might disagree with me. To be fair, that's my view. So I don't really care what theirs is. If you agree with me, then agree with me. But I'm sure if you don't, you'll leave a comment. So I don't really care. Like,
if you don't agree, I want to see these
positive. Something else positive about the lockdown. It has brought families closer together. You know what I mean? It has brought people that miss each other, that would normally see people on a daily basis. Like your family that you normally go around and see every Tuesday. You can't go and see them, so you haven't seen them. It has brought families closer because everyone's come closer on here. Technical side.
Yeah.
The two words I look at that is basically the whole situation of stress-tested environments, immunity, finance, logistics, food, water, everything has been tested. What does that look like now, in my opinion, is actually we need a check pace on the planet and for everybody, never any harm to everybody. Now we can maybe appreciate we don't need to be running or driving at 110 miles an hour, because if you do that, what happens inevitably? Enjoy what we're doing. Enjoy the now. Enjoy being in the community.
Yeah, I totally agree.
This is what I've done during the lockdown. About 4 days before the actual lockdown was announced, I knew what was coming. I started what I call my pandemic diary. Every day I write in that diary what I feel, what I say, what I do, what I don't do, what I can and can't do. And also during this time, I've also made a point with my kids and my partner to such things as VE Day, get them involved, get the house decorated. The Johnson speeches, the Queen's speeches, get them involved with all of them, because for them and for us, it is probably going to be a once in a lifetime thing. That when my kids are older and they've got kids, my grandkids will come to me asking about the lockdown of the COVID-19. They will be working on this. It'll not be the Spanish.
You think he's going to get on it?
Yeah, I think so. But he touched on a brilliant point. To be fair, we're talking quite a few years down the line, or maybe not so many years down the line. People will be learning about this. People will be asking the parents, "Oh, what did you do? They'll come home with home. The kids will come home with homework about the lockdown and what did you do, Grandma? What did you do, Mum? About in the COVID-19 lockdown? What were it about? What actually happened?
Well, I can tell you something what actually happened. The start of something that's going to be pretty big in the veteran community, or in the frontline community, I should say, and that's down to.
Sorry, Mark. This also goes into the way your human behaviour and the way the average human thinks. So, three big emotions. The way we're organic and the way we're forward is how we think, feel, and act, and that is they are the big three at the moment. What are we thinking? How is what are we doing? And this could be positive or actually a negative action, and you're thinking.
No, see, in some way I disagree there, because you've got people in this generation that have got nothing better to do than be negative. Nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you find a negative in anything. And there's some people you can't change. Some people you can't, you know what, give them £1 million, they still have a bad day. That's the sort of people that needs to change. I don't need to change my behaviour, my thinking, because I struggle with that anyway. You know what I mean? So if I can make a conscious effort of mind over body, anybody else can. So I totally get with what you're saying, but there's some people that won't make that choice. Isn't there?
That's the key word, though. That's the key word. It's a choice.
That's a choice.
It's a choice. It's a choice that people. It's a choice that everyone makes on their everyday life. But it's the old saying of glass half full, glass half empty.
Yeah, but it's this in some people. We say they won't, but some people don't know how. So we go back to when people want to talk about who wants to go straight to the doctor. What is the preventative measure? You know, anybody can become a positive person. We only know what we know.
Yeah, but that's the choice that they have to make. Okay, that is a choice that they have to make to change the way they think.
And actually supporting reframing the COVID-19 is this actually, because now they've been placed in that environment, have had to put situation will change and will adapt more to what's in front of them. I don't know.
Well, I hope they do, because when a simple thing I heard on the news or on whatever, whether it's true or not, I don't know. Some little old lady gets put on the telly to entertain us, mentions one little comment or says one little phrase, something about China or whatever it was, I'm not too sure. But yes, a person of power in a super state can go on and mention it's called the China virus and not happen. People really need to look at themselves and really think, do I really need to be a negative person at this time? Do I really need to bring these people down? Do I really need to choose to be an asshole? Because that's what you're choosing to do. So if you're going to change the way one person thinks, you need to change the way you think. And I do that every day. I don't change what goes on in my head. I choose what to do, what goes on in my head. My choice. I have a bad day every day. That's the way I see it. It's my choice whether I have a bad day. And that's what people have got to get. You've got to make that choice.
I completely support that, Mark. It's a good point. When we speak of veterans, we felt that adrenaline rush of fear. And actually, you know, imagine when you were in Herrick or I was in Iraq or whatever that may be, and we look back and we go, you know what, that was not a nice place. Actually, the negative people is that because they're naturally negative or they can't cope with the current environment we're in, it's open to interpretation. I don't know.
Well, it is an interpretation. It is, and I totally get what you're saying, but it's for people who get, how can I put this? People who get trained to use aggression, people who get trained to use aggression is very different to not knowing how to use it. Now, people being negative is not necessarily aggression, okay? I've known loads and a lot of people that are negative just because they get out of bed in the morning. honestly, God, the people that I've tried to help, the people that I've tried to move through, have had to change the way that they think. They've had to make that choice to be positive, or find something positive to be about.
Yeah. Find something to be positive about. Yeah. It's a
Because
fair
if
point.
you don't, you're gonna go. Think of it like this: it's your attitude circle. Okay, so my attitude affects my behaviour.
Yeah.
My behaviour affects your attitude. Your attitude affects your behaviour, and that'll keep going round.
It's a knock-on
until someone
effect.
breaks it. So someone makes a choice that I'm not gonna. My attitude isn't gonna be bad. My behaviour is not gonna be bad. I'm gonna change my attitude to be good. Then my behaviour is gonna be good, or my mental thinking is gonna be good, and then the circle will carry on. That is a choice that someone has to make. Whether you can change someone's mind, or whether you can show them how to make that choice, and that's where I think Carl's on. That's where I think I can see that massively going forward. I really can. Because if you think about attitude, your attitude starts with one person. One person can put you in a good mood. One person can put you in a bad mood. It's your choice whether you choose to use it.
Yeah. I'm gonna
9 times out of 10, it's my head that causes my attitude, and it's my body that has to choose.
Yeah, mind over body. Mind over body. I'm gonna have to slightly change the topic because we could go on. We could carry on all day. Let's get Jim. Let's get Jim back in. So Jim, you mentioned about the course that you've been on today.
Yeah.
Tell us about it. What's it about? What's the
best way to explain it is obviously I'm a UK athletics coach, throwing coach. Compete and coach for Gateshead Harriers. I was part of Paralympic development program as an athlete, which I decided to sack off after a while. And obviously now with the Highland Games and such, my passion now is getting more active athletes involved in sport.
Yeah.
So the course is obviously to learn you how to understand different types of disabilities, from visually impaired, hearing, missing limbs, depression. All of these are actually for adaptive athletes. It doesn't have to be a Paralympic category for you to be an adaptive athlete.
Yeah.
Hey,
so
Jim, you know me.
Aim now, especially with the Highland Games, is to get more Highland Games events open to adaptive athletes. Even if that means that we've got to
but you know what, Jim? Me and you both know. Yeah, but me and you both know that me and you will go up against anyone. Doesn't matter, does it?
Exactly, and obviously that's where the throw on tomorrow, the 1 mile throw, 5,280 feet with a Scottish hammer, as many times. If I've got to throw that as many times as possible to cover 1 mile to raise money for the team, so that I can buy kit, get more athletes training and using sport as a recovery. That is exactly what I'll do.
Yeah.
Scottish Highland Games Association write the next newsletter in autumn about disability inclusion, and we've also been by Broken Caber, which is the Highland Games Adaptive Association, to say they will allow us, well, not allow us because we'll do it anyway and we'll smash it, I've promised them that we will.
Yes, we will.
My God, yes.
Every single world record that they hold, male, female, upper body limb loss, lower body limb loss, brain injury, muscular loss, we will have at least one adaptive athlete in every world record category.
And I'll be having most of them.
Jim.
Yeah.
Can you hear me there, Jim? Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, I'm new to this, and mate, it's absolutely outstanding to meet you. And we speak about sort of goals, and when I was doing it, it was we want to win at all costs. We want to be number one at all costs. We're doing this at all costs, and we split our goals down into 3. So the outcome by what was going to be the end state. and how we're going to train for it. Then performance goal, is it about the individual, is it about the team? And maybe a process goal. What is the whole execution fee? Also, did train you to get some raw talent and train them up right the way through the process? I don't know. I've never done this before.
For us with the Highland Games, it started because Prince Charles, at the famous May Castle Highland Games, wanted adaptive athletes involved in it. So the Scottish Highland Games Association contacted Health for Heroes. We put a team together, and we started pretty much with about 2 months training, if that. Went up there. I was good enough to win the whole competition. Mark doesn't like that, but I won the whole competition. So
Here we go. Here we go.
Don't be going there. Don't be going there. Hey.
The aim is now to get any injury.
Stick.
Use
Fucking wait till tomorrow, you shithead.
And if they enjoy it, that's brilliant. If they just want to come along to train and use the training as recovery, be it for mental health, physical, or even both, or even to be part of a team again, because that's one big thing we lose, being part of a team, then my job's done. Me personally, I want to get better and better at it, not just the training, also the coaching and the understanding physical and mental injuries. And if
Jim, can I just ask you a quick question?
I'll do what
Jim,
I can to do it.
Can I just ask you a quick question? How many stones did you do?
None, because I was too busy winning an event.
See? Hey, how many stones did you do, Jim? I did 4 with one arm, so, next year, maybe you might want to beat me at that, maybe?
I'll beat you at that as well.
Prodding.
Jim.
Yeah. Now, Jim, I'm only, look, I've got love for you. To be fair, me and Jim are coaching majority of the people, and what we want from them really is the enthusiasm that we've got for it, because Jim went for Invictus. I went for. I didn't like the idea of Invictus. I don't know why, but I didn't. I didn't want to be sat in a rowing machine because they wouldn't let me lift the way I lift. Said it was too dangerous. However, so when he turned around and said, "Do you want to go to Scotland and throw something really heavy?" I was like, "Yes, please."
Didn't worry about that. I was told I wasn't good enough for it. I didn't have enough experience for it. But then a month later, I was selected for JB Paralympic program.
Yeah, can you hear
that makes no sense. That makes no sense. Like from where I was working with the Olympic Association and stuff when it were for the London Games, that to me makes absolutely no sense.
What?
The fact that he got turned down for the Invictus and then got, so you if anything, you must be more than qualified to do the Invictus.
Well, yeah. So, that's something we shouldn't get into really on here, because
Fair enough.
You know what I mean? Whereas
I know.
Highland Games is what we want. Highland Games is what we want. Highland Games is what we coaching at. Highland Games is what we helping people at. Highland Games is what I'm gonna succeed at. And guess what, Jim? You're beating me next year. So there you go.
Carl, I'm trying for you, man. I'm trying for you. I'm trying.
Steve, right, Jim and Mark, you're both there, yeah?
Sorry?
Say that again, sorry.
Is Mark and Jim there, yeah?
Yeah.
Right, this is what I'm going to do. This is what Tag International are going to do for you two. Jim, I think you're a top operator, and I'm going to help you, and I'm going to help you, Mark. You two are coming on my mental health first aid instructor course on the 15th of June, and I'm paying for it. Because I'm with you, the toolbox, go and help and assist your team, because it's not all about just winning, it's a support network as well. So I'll send you the join instructions out. You're both on my course the 15th and 16th of June, and you get a level 3 accredited training qualification for nothing.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Much appreciated. Hey, you know what?
There's one rule. There's 2 things you've got to do. you've got to keep talking and you've got to share this knowledge with everyone up there.
Oh, we will. Hey, Carl, told you I'm gonna. I mean, Carl, listen, you've known me for a long time, mate. I will. Good. If I say if the black, this is what people are going to understand with this with me. When I was in the army, when I left the army, from the moment being here to the moment leaving, I was a weak individual. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say that on here. I was a weak individual, right? Now, I don't want to go back to being that man, ever. And if I can help people prevent going to the places where I was, I'll be always in your debt, mate.
Job done.
At the end of the day,
Job done.
That's exactly what I'm doing all this for. I train for my therapy. I've tried it all. It didn't fucking work for me. If anything, some of it made me worse. So I don't do it. What makes me go from day to day without going too far in my own head is lifting something heavy, throwing something heavy, training people that want to be trained. That's what does to me. And thank you for that course. That's spot on.
Mark, you'll need to send me yours and Jim's email address so we can get you the documentation sent out.
Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. Thanks very much, mate. Again, I've done a few different mental health courses in the past because what I decided to do when I was rock bottom. I got to the point where one day I would leave the house and it was either I was going to die or somebody else was. Pick or choose, I didn't care which way around it was. And that's how low I actually got. Luckily enough, nobody at all got hurt, other than probably my partner and kids worrying about, obviously, the way I was. And then, slowly but surely, I realised that I thought at the time nobody was there to help us. Nobody could understand us. Nobody knew what I'd went through other than other veterans. And at the time, you didn't speak to veterans, or there wasn't all these communities and things such as TAG and things like that. So I started looking into it myself and started actually researching it myself to the point where I got that confident that when I actually went for therapy, they turned around and said they could not help me because I knew way too much.
Yeah, it's good.
I understood my situation more than they could explain it to us. So
I mean,
I understood it, but it was bad that I couldn't get the help that I should have probably had in the first place. So I quickly learned that using my tongue was the best tool anyone can use.
Talking and expressing it means so much. You know, I wasn't in that space for as long as you, Jim, but I was there very, very quickly, and it was very, very frightening.
Yeah.
But I didn't talk until people actually. It was like you are a serious risk to yourself, which is cool now. We'll look back and we only know what we know. But anyway, I need to get those two email addresses. Remember, please pass on to anyone for the Tag Veterans group. Yeah, anyone's a veteran, any emergency service. Yeah, I'm all tagged in. Let's grow this machine. There'll be webinars on there, like what we're doing now. There'll be free courses and a real go at this.
Yeah.
And Carl, make sure you keep your diary for the 1st of August next year clear, because you are coming to the Highland Games and you are going to throw a hammer. I'll make sure of that.
Team, thanks very much. Together as a group, look after each other. If there's any dramas or issues, pick up the phone to me. If you hear me farting, I'm on the toilet. But after that, good powwow.
Mind over body, Carl, mate. Mind over body.
I'll see you on the
body, yeah.
Take care.
Guys, been a pleasure.